I was visiting Taft's Well thermal spring in southern Wales. It was getting dark and me and my two friends decided now would be a good time to head home as we lived in Cardiff. We were walking back towards our car and were soon sat in it, ready to set off. From where our car was, the well site could be seen and me and both my friends were entirely shocked to see a lady, dressed in grey robes of a bygone era, heading towards the well. This could easily be dismissed as a misidentification of fashion or a prank if it wasn't for one very creepy feature. She was see-through. We could see through this woman and clearly make out the details on the other side. She had an odd glow about her, as if glow in the dark, and she seemed oblivious to the fences, walking straight through them. I had been aware of the stories of the Grey Lady, but never did I believe the stories. Till now. She was walking slowly and with effort, clearly making each individual pace draw out. Then, she looked at us. My friends agree with me on this. I went cold, her stare freezing over the very essence of my soul. I flipped the lights on and put the car in drive, then turned the beams down. She was gone. I got out of my car, my friends too scared to follow, and shined a torch from a fair distance. And there was no trace. At all. Needless to say, we smoked it out of there rapidly and I haven't been back since. God knows what I saw that day. But regardless of what it was creepy as hell. And will stay with me till the day I die. Me and my family were on holiday to London. We're from Northern Ireland and have travelled extensively all over the globe, but have never once ventured to our big brother, a stone's throw away from our home. We arrived in Wales via ferry and drove to our hotel through the night. Once we had arrived and settled, we had 10 days to enjoy the historical, fun and crazy sights of London. My husband wanted to see Abbey Road, me, the museum, the kids, the zoo, and collectively, we all wanted to see Buckingham Palace and Westminster. On approximately the 8th day, we all decided, on a whim, to visit the Tower of London, a creepy-looking yet beautiful and historic landmark that's clearly distinguishable as much as it is infamous. We weren't here at the peak of summer as me and my partner were struggling for money and so took the kids during school term time. Sue me, the trip was as educational as any science or history lesson. This meant that when we arrived there was a special offer on the family ticket and it was empty. So empty in fact that during this whole ordeal, excluding the staff, I saw only 3 other people. We were exploring the tower and having a lot of freedom, and a lack of crowds made the whole thing seem informal. My 2 kids went off at one point on their own accord, as did my husband. I was walking very close to a flight of stairs when, from directly above, where my children were, as a good mother never loses track of her kin, came this horrifying, inhuman scream. Thinking my son had hurt my daughter, I stormed up the stairs, starting a ramp before I even got to the top. Right, what in earth is... I stumbled on my own words as my 2 children were stood quietly together. I asked them what the scream was and walked over. It was freezing up here. I've seen most haunted and know the signs of spirits. I choked on my words as they responded with the heart-stopping answer. What scream? I grabbed them and took them to the floor I was just on. It wasn't me. It was considerably warmer down here. I sat waiting for my husband, and the three of them went to see a part I'd already seen, so I sat with the bags, mulling things over in my mind. Another couple were walking past me when, again, the scream pushed through the crevices of the building. They were as startled as me as we shared a look, and I fearlessly ran up the stairs without thinking. I was faced with a silent, empty, and cold floor. It felt weird. A pressure on me. Something lurking malevolently in the shadows. I wanted to cry as I began walking back towards the stairs. Then, the single, most frightening thing to ever happen in my life occurred. Something growled down my ear. Something that was pure evil and non-human. I jumped and squealed. Then heavy, disembodied footsteps rapped off the floor rapidly in front of me. I couldn't help myself. I began to cry and ran down to my husband. He was wondering where I'd gone and saw me crying. He stood up, concerned, immediately. I told him in hushed whispers as to not alarm the children as to what had happened, and we left straight away. This is something that severely creeps me out, but I've learnt to deal with it. What happened was truly horrifying, and whatever it was seemed like it wanted to hurt me. However, I always think, well, hey, it never did, and I'm never going back to the Tower of London anyway. Hey guys, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you so much on getting me to 400 subscribers. It happened on the last video, so a huge thank you to that. We are actually growing as a community. It's fantastic to see. I really, really love it. Second of all, this is another video that someone recommended to me. So it does go to show that when you comment any ideas you have, they do get made. Don't forget to comment any ideas you have for future videos or any videos you want to see made. Leave it in the comments, and if there's stories out there, I will sort it out. Yeah, those two stories were entirely terrifying. That second one really creeped me out. Seriously, I was really because the growl, it's just not human to growl like that. The first story, I never even, honestly, I'd never heard of Taft's Well Thermal Spring, but I did look into it after reading the story, and there is actually reports of a grey lady, though the last report was over a century ago, I think, that I could find anyway. But that's creepy stuff anyways. So anyway, like the video, subscribe for more, and comment any ideas that you may have that you want to see made. Again, thank you for 400 subscribers, guys, and until next week. Oh, that's it. That's another thing. Next week, it's a bit late. I don't know why I'm always bloody behind on the subscriber milestone videos. Next week, my 300 subscriber video will come out. I mentioned it very briefly in passing, about a month ago probably. It's actually 10 true scary stories. They're not particularly ghost stories either. I've noticed that I do a lot of ghost stories and creature sightings and stuff. It's more real life horrors, though I'm not gonna lie, there is a bit in there. So look out for that next week, and peace out, guys.